about the tea. Show the tea again. What color is that tea?
Well, I was just saying that I'm just guessing that you guys would be disgusted in the color of my tea because I like quite a milky tea. So for a lot of people, they turn their nose up at that. And I put the milk in first, and I just don't care. I just don't care. That's how I like my tea. If you can slag me off all you want, but I like the milk in first.
You're an abomination to the tea people.
I prefer to keep my tea bag in right all the way down.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I thought.
And I don't have tea, and I'm not a tea person at all. I'm not a tea or coffee person. Even though I've got to buy me a coffee. Even though I've got to buy me a coffee there, and it's just like, I mean, I could use it for hot. I could go the hot chocolate route, but I don't even have hot chocolate that often, to be fair. I think the only hot drink that I've been having a lot lately is honey and lemon for the sore throat sometimes, because I do a lot of talking.
That's just always good anyway, honey and lemon. But I'm with you with the Yorkshire tea though, Darren. If you're from Yorkshire, will people literally just descend to violence if you don't drink Yorkshire tea? If you go around someone's house and they got Tetleys, will you just instantly just slap
that's it, just leave?
It's the tea police. I'm sorry, sir, we're gonna have to confiscate your tea bags there.
Didn't the guys in the Tetleys advert have Yorkshire accents though? Those guys in the Tetleys, I'm sure they did.
I'm not sure.
It's going back a bit now.
Chat, help us out there. I'm sure people in the chat will know that. Someone in the chat.
But it kind of reminds me of my granddad, because like whenever he used to go out, his favourite drink was rum and peppermint, and it had to be Schweppes peppermint. And he would go to one pub. He walked in, "Can I have a rum and pep?" And he went, "What the hell's that?" He said, it were better buys peppermint. And he went, No, not having that. So he walked up to Tesco's little, them little small markets, mini markets. Tesco Express, that's it. Walked in there, bought himself a bottle of peppermint Schweppes peppermint, took it down, and he said, "That's solely for me. And don't let anybody else have any of that." And that's what it. So yeah,
peppermint Schweppes. I don't think I've ever heard of that in my life.
And it had to be Lamb's Navy rum as well.
Oh, I'm not buying tea for the family. This is for me. You guys have got to get your own tea.
Well, it's good to start this intellectual political discussion with some tea talk and
of course.
Exactly.
Dal there in the chat, one of our fabulous moderators, says, "I drink Tetley tea. They make it here in Portugal, so that's pretty cool there. I love that."
In Yorkshire.
Well, there's a Yorkshire there must be a Yorkshire in Portugal then if they're making Tetley there. Yes. So. But he's more of a coffee person there. Hello everyone and welcome to the round table. That's kind of how I like to sometimes just do the rounds. Like when I start a round table, sometimes we've done it in the past where I've just literally pressed live and nobody noticed because we're talking conversation and whatnot and kind of just like throwing it out there just for the sake of it, this way. Yeah, I hope you guys are all doing well. So we've got obviously 3 fantastic guests. Mikey at the moment is just checking on your kids right now, but he'll join us in a little bit because we're going to be talking about the by-election that's happening. And there's obviously some stuff which some of you guys may have heard that I've spoken about on the Good Morning Show for those who were there. But obviously for those who weren't, we'll touch on it in a bit with regards to the underhanded, disgusting tactics that Labour have been doing. And I really do have to stress they are underhanded, disgusting tactics, which is not what Labour should be doing anyway. So, and then a bit later on, we're going to talk about what's happening in America. I'm sure Mikey Famine wants to tell us about how wonderful the State of the Union has been and what's been the latest going on in the Epstein files as well. So, because there's a lot of interconnection, obviously, with the Epstein files as well. So I'm pretty sure that's a topic we can all discuss on that one because it's pretty much linked to not just the UK and the US, but pretty much everywhere around the world. I mean, that one there as well. Mikey, good to see you there, my friend. I hope everyone is well there.
Hello. Yeah, we're good. I had to clean up some messes. Every single block has been flung in every direction. I was like, can we just pile them a little bit so it's not a landmine field in here for the barefooted?
It's all right, Mikey. You just missed some British tea talk. So
Oh,
You didn't miss too much. You didn't miss too much, my friend.
I'm not drinking any. This is tap water. I won't say it's drip coffee.
Okay,
Yeah, but you can get away with it because it must be morning time where you are, right? So you can drink coffee anyway.
Yeah, it's
Evening, yeah.
2 o'clock now.
Yeah. So guys, let's touch on obviously one of the. It really is really significant, this by-election in the UK. So we have, it's literally a 3-horse race. It is pretty much between the Green Party, Labour Party, and of course Reform UK. We obviously like there's a lot of polls. Some are indicating that it is going to go. Some polls are indicating that the Greens have it in the bag. There's some saying it's a lot more closer than that. Obviously, I still think it's too close to call. I mean, a lot of obviously people on the left are saying it's definitely the Greens. They definitely have won it, but it's just like it's still, we shouldn't be jumping to conclusions just based off a lot of poll data, because obviously nothing ever it can't always be that anyway. But basically what I've been listening to and what I've been hearing on the ground and whatnot, there's been a lot of negativity about Labour's campaign, but obviously Reform have been using some underhanded tactics, which we kind of expect anyway because it's Reform. So they were already I think they were already reported to the Electoral Commission not too long ago already for underhanded tactics that they were doing, which you would expect. But then we had, for those who weren't on the Good Morning live stream, and I did share this with Mark as well, is some really nasty underhanded tactics used by Labour. So for those who aren't aware, late last night, I think it's like from 8-9 o'clock in the evening last night. So basically, there was reports that they put out Labour put out this fake tactical leaflet, and it is a fake one using a name that's not an alias list with any tactical website, as far as I'm aware, or a fake one. Basically, and dishing out these leaflets across Labour, encouraging people to vote Labour to keep Reform out. Basically, is what it is. When the vast majority of tactical voting websites and pollsters are basically saying that if you wanted to tactically vote out Reform, you would vote Green. And Labour basically made one up with the intention of basically trying to win the seat. And the thing is, I want to point out is that and I said this morning as well, but I want for people who haven't heard it to know this, is that it's one thing to, obviously, we know that Reform, the Conservatives, and parties on the right will use dirty, underhanded tactics to win. We know that they're going to do that. And we know that there's a lot of heat. There's a lot of heat between these political parties and whatnot about policies and all that kind of stuff. And that comes with it all. But to lie to the British public, especially in particular in this by-election, because you're scared or you're afraid of losing, so you're going to use underhanded tactics, and you claim to be a party of integrity. It's just absolutely disgusting from Labour. And Mark, do you want to just share what I shared with you, the other thing that happened earlier today while they were out voting?
Well, I mean, I just want to talk about the clear choice that the people have got in this election. So you've got Reform and Labour that are basically just flinging mud at the other side, a very negative campaign. Just a campaign full of hate, and all they're talking about is immigration and just making up lies, like you said, lies. It's not just the polling information they're putting out, but they're putting up posters saying Zach Polanski wants your teenagers on heroin, wants your daughters in prostitution and stuff. It's disgusting. And that's the clear difference. The Green Party are out there. They're not slinging mud at the other side. They're saying, this is what we want to do. We want to look at the cost of living. We want to find out why are pensioners freezing in their homes. Why is there such wealth inequality? Why are pensioners freezing in their homes and gas companies are getting millions and millions of pounds worth of profits? They're showing the people what we're going to do. All the other parties are throwing mud at the other side. And that should be really clear to the people that are voting in this election. And it was really clear to me, because I went to see on Monday Zach Polanski done his podcast live in Brighton with Caroline Lucas at the Brighton Dome. There was about 2,000 people there.
Oh,
And
wow.
it was really special. Like, I went to it and it really felt like there was something special happening. And there was, when you're in a live environment like that with 2,000 people that feel the same as you, there's something really exciting about the Greens at the moment. And the thing that's exciting about them is they're actually talking about all the different aspects of politics. All we get from Reform is immigration. All we get from Labour is economic growth. That's all we ever hear. But the Greens, they're talking about, how can we deal with drug policy better? How can we deal with wealth and inequality? How can we make affordable housing for people? They're talking about the stuff that actually matters and actually means something to people. So, you know, you just have to, it's just clear as day in this by-election what Labour are about and what Reform are about. All they have is throwing mud at the other side because they can't offer anything. They can't go to the people of Denton Gordon and go, this is what we're going to do, because they have nothing.
Darren, what's your make on what's been happening in the by-election? Basically, what's your fault? What's your feelings about it all?
I've sort of like, I would say I've been just slightly looking in. You know, it's not really my thing to go into other by-elections because I don't live there. That's all. But I've had a little look inside, and my feelings when it comes to the I didn't watch the, you know, where they were on the stage, all three of them, you know, like Matt, anyone who's not white can't be British, Goodwin, and the other and the Labour MP, and I've forgotten the name of the young lady who's the Green candidate.
Hannah Spencer.
That's Spencer.
Yeah. And I have to say, I didn't watch it because of a simple reason. I just got the feeling what it was going to be like. It's just going to be mudslinging, and it's, after a while you just think. For me, it was like, it's a little bit like the Brexit campaign, you know, when I will say, I will watch it, you know, when they have them on live, and then first conversation, immigration, I switch off. I'm not interested. I can't be bothered with all that shit. So I'll like that. But from what an outsider looking in, I got the feeling that all you seem to hear from Labour is, "Oh, you better vote for us because if you don't, you'll get reform. You'll get reform." And no disrespect, but you know, because if you get reform, you know, your sky will fall in, your roof will cave in, everything will go hell into handcart. Cats will be chasing dogs. It'll be boiling seas. Skies turned black.
Locusts.
But the thing is,
if the plague is going to come back.
Yeah, exactly. But the thing is, if in your mind it's already there now, what difference is it going to make? If you're not going to paint a picture of positivity, then exactly. your only outlet is you need to vote for us because you don't want them in. You know, you don't want that guy in, and you just think, why don't you just go do one? You know, that's all I ever seem to see. Now, I've not watched a lot of it, but I've seen pictures here and there basically saying, if you want to keep out reform, you need to vote Labour. And I think it's not really much of a positive catchphrase, is it? You know, people want to hear positivity. So I do think it'll be interesting to see how it goes. And when it comes to, you know, what you were talking about, what the Labour are doing, to be honest, that's been going on for years. I remember the billboards at general elections, you know, where they were doing Tony Blair with the evil eyes, you know, the conservative. So it's nothing new. It's not as if it's just suddenly thrown upon us. But you also, whether you want to go down that route of dirty politics, you've got to paint a positive picture. And I've got the feeling that I'm not really sure that they have. But we'll see what when the result comes in, won't we?
Well, if you don't mind me interlude, Dad, what you said there is exactly right. What you know the old tactics from the Tories when they used to paint those pictures of Tony Blair and stuff. This is what we're getting from Labour now. Every single response is what the Tories were doing, the last government. Every single time they come out with something, it's just the same as what the previous lot were. Like Zach Polanski came out and wanted to have an open, honest, grown-up discussion about our drug policy, something that's ruining the country. And Starmer just wants to go, he just wants teenagers shooting up in playgrounds because he wants to make drugs illegal and stuff. And it's like,
drugs.
It's grow up.
Crime.
Grow up. I thought Keir Starmer was supposed to be the grown-up in the room, but he can't have an open and honest conversation about drug policy. Like, kids are shooting up in playgrounds right now with the drug policies as they are now. You know, that's happening now. It's not. And you can't just think, well, maybe we should do something differently. But no, he's more interested in just throwing an attack at Zach Polanski.
Are you trying to insinuate, Mark, that we are not winning the war on drugs?
Yes.
What a shocker.
And the same laws that we've had for the past 50 years are not working. But this is the thing. Labour are more scared of the Greens winning this by-election than Reform. They would rather Reform win it because that's just another right-wing section of the country that doesn't think our way. But if they get kicked in the arse by a left-wing party, that's far more damaging for them. So that's why they're going so fierce. And this campaign directed at the Greens of just saying that they want your teenagers taking drugs, and I've never seen this from a Labour Party. This is really, really severe, and it's desperate. It's so desperate.
They're terrified is what it is. They are so scared because if the Greens do pull it off, it will open the door to saying people, not just obviously here, but all over England and Wales, saying, well, England in particular, basically it opens the door and it says to people, you don't have to vote for Reform. You don't need to vote for this party who are talking all about immigration. There is an alternative. The alternative is the Green Party. That I feel like that door will open if they pull this off. And if they don't pull it off, then it goes to either Labour or Reform. They will continuously say, well, nobody cares about them because there they are in the corner, saying their same policies and whatnot, and it will resonate with people who aren't really paying attention to a lot of politics, because not everybody, obviously, as we know, not everyone always pays attention to the politics and what goes on social media and the campaigns and all that kind of stuff. But I just feel like that this is it will be a major step for the Green Party if they do pull it off, obviously.
Because people have been scared to vote for the Greens before, right? But now people are not scared anymore. The Greens have 4 MPs. If they win this by-election and get 5, that's a clear distinction that it's okay to vote Green now. You shouldn't be scared to vote Green. You shouldn't be scared that it's a wasted vote. You know, they're showing with, what are they coming up to, about 200,000 members now, I think? And, you know, this proves that there's movement.
Yeah, they hit 200,000 members yesterday, I think it was.
Yeah,
he announced. Yeah.
And they're proving they're kind of proving that there's only really one left-wing party in this country, and the other 3 are all right-wing: Labour, Conservatives, and Reform. You know, people understand that, and now people are not afraid to vote for them because they don't see it as a wasted vote. And if they win this by-election, that will be massive. And you know, I said it earlier, it really did feel like a special movement when I was there on Monday. You know, just with those 2,000 people, there was just something, you could feel it. Sometimes you just get a feeling of something, and it feels like something's really special is starting with these guys, and something's really changing.
Just before I get Mikey in, I know Mikey, I just want to say thank you, Viper Scott, for the £5 super chat, saying to you, Mark, just like the Scottish government consumption rooms that they blocked from happening in Scotland were we just opened one in Glasgow, he says there, Viper Scott. Just add there. So thank you for that. Mikey, based on what you've heard so far about Matt Goodwin and the Reform UK, I think I know where you would vote if you had the opportunity to vote.
Well, yes. Now I'm not a complete neophyte. I mean, I do listen to James O'Brien every once in a while, you know, so I do keep up a bit with you guys' politics. And like, your Green Party is like our progressives, but our progressives and independents are kind of trapped inside the belly of the DNC dinosaur. Like like imagine if your Greens were like stuck having to always caucus and run with Democrats, because it's the duopoly has done a very good job at keeping itself a duopoly. There probably could be 2 or 3 right-wing parties over here and a couple of left-wing parties, but no. They stamp all that shit down. And now that they've got Citizens United, there's all this PAC money, getting any kind of like, I wonder what it's like to have like multiple different shits on the ballot. I wonder what it's like to have all of the options. I guess our ballot would have to be a different shape then. I guess maybe the columns would like, that's where my mind's going. Like, I wouldn't even know how to vote in something with so many options. But
we have the options, Mikey, but because we still have the same stupid voting system as you guys have in America as well, it's so difficult to get those smaller options in there. But things are changing. You know, that's what's quite exciting at the moment.
And the fact that the infrastructure is already set up so that you don't necessarily need to side with labor for anything. You're already on the, the party's recognizing it's on the ballot. Like, it's hard for us to get candidates on the ballot because you have to get so many this and so many that. And then there's a time crunch in that. So to have something established as an outsider, is nice. I don't know what's in the water, but there's Luffy pirate flags flying all over the place with the youth rising up in multiple countries all over the world simultaneously. It's in the air, y'all. Like everyone's, and now that this Epstein stuff is really cracked, people are sick of this. This is done. The last 30 years of corruption and BS that everybody's been dragged through, they're sick of it, because all of us millennials and late Xers are like, are you nuts? Just pave the road, man. Give them some gas money. Shut up. Tax that dick over there who hasn't paid anything. And God knows how long. He pays 15 pounds every 15 years. And that's just acceptable for this $1 billion corporation. Like, no, that's not acceptable. And the only way that this stuff gets changed is when people literally can't take it no more, because people are polite to their own detriment. They're way too polite. If anyone moved into the flat next door and just started, moving the wall into their apartment, just started making their apartment smaller, they'd let that shit happen for about an inch, which is too far for me even. And then they would get mad, and then they would do something about it. It's the same principle, y'all. So it's, how much do you want to take before you actually get up and do something? Because you're going to get up and do something, but how much shit do you want to eat before that day?
Yeah. It's like, really interesting what you said there, because sorry, Darren.
No. I was just going to quickly jump in. Just going to quickly say, because like, what will politeness get you with these lot? Just a pat on the head and go on your merry way and accept your gruel.
Yeah, well, that's it. You can only push people so far, and that's what you're saying, Mikey. There's only so much that you can just fill social media with, telling people that it's immigrants' problems and getting them distract them. Right. But when you eventually get to the point where, you like you say, you can't put petrol in your car and you can't, feed your kids, it comes a breaking point. You can only push people so far before they realize, okay, we have to go beyond the distractions.
And because these fools are funded by the same dark money, none of their plans work. All of the plans are just a scheme. It's just a scheme for rich people to get richer. It doesn't provide anything. There's not, like, instead of services, they're promising safety. Plot twist, you were never in danger. So now they've just become the most richest fools ever, and it completely collapsed society. If you want to go into Hunger Games mode, did y'all finish the movie? What are we talking about here? You can't just pump the middle class and the poor for everything they have and expect them to remain peaceful. It's not going to stay peaceful if you keep it up. And I think people are like, all right, we're going to do this voting thing first before. So hopefully the votes go the way that they're supposed to go and the people's voices are heard.
Yeah, let's hope so. because the Labour Party have completely lost. Like I think the last tweet about it, or I've heard like the Labour Party said only like the latest tweet, and I basically quoted above it as saying Labour have completely forgotten who they are. Like I don't even recognise them anymore. Like that's how much they've changed so much. And Mikey, you brought up a great point, and it kind of resonates not just with America, but literally what you were saying around the world with regards to obviously the Epstein files as well. Is that so many youngsters here in America, Iran, Cuba, France, all different parts of the world.
Nepal,
so many young all over
Thailand.
the world. Yeah, that is true. It's true. So many youngsters are not getting or feeling the same benefits that their fathers and that their parents, that their grandparents had, and they are feeling like dejected. They're feeling pissed off. They feel like, why are we being treated differently? Why is our generation feeling differently? And I think that ties into it's not just like when I think of what's happening in Cuba and Iran, for example, because both Cuba and Iran, obviously, they're facing sanctions, they're facing very tough times. But at the same time as well, I also look at like even Iran as an example of there's a lot of young people who are like we're getting screwed. Like we want a better lives for ourselves here, and all these governments, as you said, they're just not like listening to them. And as you said, it's all tied to, corporations, greed, and they're trying to keep the veterans, keep the veteran voters and the old generation, like just get them to keep voting for us. What they don't realize is that that they're not going to be there forever. People eventually die off. It's gonna at some point there's gonna be as you said, there's gonna be a turning point, and you got to realize maybe we should invest on the next generation.
And the previous generations, I get it. Y'all got fleeced too. I'm telling you, they've gotten so close to the skin at this point on the shear that there's blood everywhere. What do you want the sheep to do? The sheep's gonna kick, the sheep's gonna buck. There's gonna be some furniture moving around here. Like they've stolen so much in such a short amount of time from like entire generations of people are just not going to have things that we all grew up with. And that's just the standard going forward, and there's nothing that can be done about it. Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
Gonna be some furniture moving.
Yeah.
Because I suppose when you look at the how well Greens are doing, kind of he seems to be a little bit of a modern day Harry Perkins. I don't know if anybody has ever watched the TV series A Very British Coup, where this is
Sorry, I'm not familiar with that one.
No, it's where a socialist.
Go on, Darren.
It's where a socialist government gets to power. It's okay, because you get the feeling that Zach Polanski is a bit of a socialist. Well, he's saying the socialist type of rhetoric, isn't he? So, and he seems to be, from what I've heard, a little bit like the modern day Harry Perkins. He seems to be quite media savvy as well, and it's going now whether he would get to become the Prime Minister, I'm not so sure, but we'll see. Weirder things have happened.
Yeah, I mean, all that I hope for the Greens, really. I mean, him being Prime Minister is a very long shot. Yeah. But just his existence has got to start making Labour think differently. They can't carry on down the road of trying to get reform voters, because reform voters won't go to Labour. The middle class and wealthy reform voters, they're always going to love their low tax economics. You're never going to bring them on board. The working class ones, they're starting to actually realize the arguments of the Greens, because they're talking about stuff that affects the poor in this country, the working class. Like I said, utility bills, wealth inequality, all these things that affect these people's lives. And the more and more Zach Polanski talks and people listen, Labour have either got to pull in that direction, or maybe there might be some coalition in the future. But it's so important what he's doing, and talking about things like voter reform and stuff like this. We don't hear about this from anyone else. Talking about how political parties are funded. The Green Party are funded by individual members, small donations. Labour, Reform, Conservative, they're all funded by big business. They're funded by gambling lobbies. This is the thing. This is what people can see in the Greens. Even if you don't fully agree with their politics, you can agree that they're talking about real things that people care about. Voter reform. They know that politicians are going into parliament not because they care about making change, but because they care about their job that they're getting later, or what donors they can get to help them out. The Green Party are talking about small individual funding for party politics, and they're talking about real people getting into parliament that actually want to make a difference and actually want to make a change. And I think that will resonate with working class reform voters as well. It's going to be hard. It's going to be very hard, because you're fighting millions of pounds worth of social media that throwing immigration at them. And
because like with the very British coup, it is very, very interesting, because when it comes to, like you say, the media, they will pull at any strand to undermined. There's one guy, he was a bit of a swashbuckling type former teacher, socialist, and for his massive speeches, the press found out he had a little bit of a dodgy affair in Hampstead Heath, and like the guy who's in charge of MI5, this and that and the other, they basically said that there could be a slight security risk, because a guy who was living in the room upstairs was a former member of the IRA, so security risk. And in the end up, it was swashed all over the press, and it was the same with that. They will find anything to destroy the government, all the press.
Yeah.
So you're right in what you're saying, but it's if you ever get a chance to watch it, you would. It will open.
It sounds interesting. But yeah, I mean that is exactly what Labour are doing with Zach Polanski right now. He comes out and wants to talk about drug reform, and they're saying he wants to sell drugs to teenagers. It's the same thing.
He uses his son in PMQs as a shield as well. Which I understand you want to bring down the Greens, but to use your own family as a reason to kind of undermine the Greens is just you're supposed to be I thought you were a lawyer. I thought you're supposed to be a so-called man of integrity, and it's just you've just completely lost yourself there. It was I didn't when I was watching it live, I didn't take that part in enough. And then the more I thought about it, I was like, he used his own son as a way of bashing the Green Party there. And I just thought, how can you do that? People
aren't falling for this stuff anymore, Regan. They're not. They are yearning for honest politics again, and they see through this stuff that we've had years and years of this stuff. From Labour or the Tories, and people are actually starting to see people like Zach Polanski of the Greens talking, who's honest, who's open and honest about how they feel. They're not hiding behind anything. They're not. Every single time Keir Starmer comes on TV, or anyone from the Labour Party, I know they have a script. Everyone knows they have a script. They have a position before that they have to take. But when you listen to people from the Greens, they're giving their honest opinion. You can talk to them about anything, and they're open to talk about anything. And this is what's positive right now. This is why I keep saying, I really feel like there's something special happening now, because more and more people are just not falling for that bullshit anymore. They're not doing it.
And you want to know where I just want to go to? New York, because that's where I think of Zoran Mandami and what he's been doing since he's come in there. And Mikey, I'm sure you can add on to this as well, because every time I hear things that he's doing in New York since he's on his way to the track from winning to the transition to now, has been nothing but positive, and he's still pumping out fantastic advertisements and all this kind of stuff, and I just love it. He's such a breath of fresh air not just to New York, but I think to Americans out there who see someone who's just talking and being honest with them about the challenges that he's facing being the mayor of New York. And that's such a refreshing thing to hear in America, especially at a time when the trust in politics is just so low.
And to not talk over his audience's head, but to talk real with them. Like, hey, we got in here and it is way worse than we thought. We thought it was this. It's actually this. Here's all of our stuff. And they put out the full transparency, the report. And all that. Here, look at it yourself. Don't trust what I'm saying. Read it. Homeboy before me ruined our budget. And unlike the federal government, city and state municipalities and stuff like that, you have to have a balanced budget. It is in the law. You must balance the books every year. So whether that includes loans or whatever, like you must. It is mandated. So when he's looking at what to do with the budget, and he's like, oh, this is way worse. So Governor Hochul, I'm going to need you to raise taxes on people in New York City if they make over $1 million. The rich are saying, well, I'm going to go to Florida. I'm going to go to Texas. I'm going to Tennessee. Yeah. And then you won't be in New York.
Yeah, exactly.
Who the hell wants to be in Tennessee when you have, you know what I'm saying, a penthouse in Manhattan overlooking the park? Like, sure, take your ass out to Walmartsville, USA, and have a great time. They'll love to have you for supper. With some gator.
Bluff, don't you?
You know what I mean? Like, if you want to move your stuff to Millionaires Row, go. Because the more of you that are out of here, the better thing, because they're not paying anyway. You know what I mean? So if I like that he's using, and this is what I hope more. He's a DSP member, Democratic Socialist Party, but caucus with the Democrats and stuff. Again, can't have any other options. It has to be all under the same umbrella, red or blue. But he's using his popularity like you're supposed to bully the governor. Well, governor, if you don't give us this money, I'll have to raise property taxes on everybody. So now this is what you're supposed to do. That's politics. You pressure other officials to help you do stuff because if they don't do it, they'll look bad. And then they don't want to look bad, so they have to help. That's the point.
Yes.
That's the point.
That's what I love about him.
You have to wield the hammer when you get it. And stop and Starmer and all them. This is what happens when you just play hide the pickle instead of fucking doing your jobs. He should have came in there day one, kicking over desks and screaming at people. Should have been a fucking a Tyrannosaurus Devil Rex. Should have just been going crazy in that bitch.
Especially with that massive majority he had.
Cussing out reporters, just going crazy. I can't. It's filthy in here. It's raw.
No, that's just Nigel Farage with the cussing of
He could have been
reporters.
saying anything, but you gotta wield the hammer when you have it. And if you just sit back and what shall we say next? And hello, Mr. President. Let me just lick a little dirt on your boot there. Almost missed it. I'll be like, hey, dumbass, I don't need you. I'll make a deal with China if you don't fucking if you don't work with me. What, you don't want some of this? You know who I am? You see this crown over here? You see it? You want some? He didn't do any of that. He just sat back and let everything happen to him. It's not a way. You're not leading, you're maintaining the status quo. And like Mark said, and Darren said, no one wants the status quo anymore. It sucks.
It's like he knew what to do to win the election, but then as soon as he got in, it was kind of like one, he didn't know what to do, but also from day one, petrified about losing the next one. It's like you're in, and do something. Actually do something. Don't be petrified from day one about losing the next one and making sure you're tippy-toeing around different voters and just
because he's got a
like you said,
majority.
Mikey, just go in there and hammer it, man.
He's got a massive majority, so he could do pretty much whatever he wants.
Exactly.
And also, Mikey, the last time Keir Starmer ever got rebellious was when he had an extra small glass of QC at Christmas. That's the rebellious side of our save Keir Starmer.
I will say when he didn't wear a tie to bed that one time.
Yes.
He looks like he sleeps in a tie. Just the stiffest man.
Yes.
Yeah, if he's not in a suit, he looks off. You know.
Like if I saw him just wearing like the a tank top, you know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
like or a sleeveless something at the beach. I'm like, ah,
He's
robot.
just-
It's a robot.
and the thing is, like, he was never like he was never meant to be prime minister. He was never actually supposed to be like. He was only there as literally as a caretaker. Like that was the original plan. Was always for West Streeting to be the prime minister. That
He was the steward of Gondor.
They literally put him in there, and then COVID happened, and all that, and then Labour ended up getting popular, and Labour getting popular too soon. So obviously they couldn't remove Keir Starmer and put West Streeting in, put their man in during this period. It's like, oh, we're gonna have to keep Starmer in, you know. So and then he ends up winning it. So,
but I love why that you say they got popular. The reason they got popular is not because they were talking about.
Oh yeah, sorry,
things
it's because the Conservatives crashed and burned. Sorry, yeah.
Well, no. I'm just saying, like there has never actually been a point where Keir Starmer's been popular.
No, you're right.
It's
you're
just
right,
the Tories have
right.
just become more and more annoying, just more and more awful, and like. But then you know, West Streeting or Keir Starmer, Jesus, I mean, what sort of bloody choice is that?
No, West Streeting was always their choice. The problem was that obviously they couldn't do it because of the idea was to have Keir Starmer for a couple of years because they were expected to be in exile for such a long period because of how poor things were for the party. But they got handed a golden goose of number 10, and then they're like, "Oh,
the goose has died of old age.
This wasn't the plan. Like, this wasn't the plan. We weren't supposed to be in power so soon." So
Yeah. Counter Kev has handed my backside. He's put me straight. He says, "Come on, to be fair, he did sellotape a safety pin to his earlobe in his teen years, so that's me done."
What do you guys say?
What a rebel!
What's the vernacular? A yob?
Yes, communist yob as well.
He once did a kickflip. I saw it.
I love how people just call the Green Party like the Communist Party, and they're gonna bring about like Soviet communism to England. I see those comments, and I'm like they're not gonna put everything under state control. Like, have you read their policy? And it's like you've been in a bubble. And it's because a certain influencer is telling you, or you're listening to the same people over and over again. You can say, "Oh, it must be true." Then they're gonna take away, they're gonna destroy the country, and you know we're gonna end up like the Soviets, where they collapse and all this kind of stuff. And I'm just like, have you even looked at what
real quick? What was happening in Soviet Russia before communism came in? It's the same thing. These people are going to demand communism if you guys don't stop with the rampant capitalism. Like, it's so disgusting that you guys are just yacht after yacht and people are going hungry. We're at Gilded Ages level of like income wealth disparity.
Yeah.
You're making people want to be communist because they'll be able to at least eat. Like, that's where we're and stay warm. Like, that's where we're at.
Well, the two things are funny. The attack against the Greens, like you said, socialist communists, but also that they're Islamist terrorists. They want extreme Islam. Yeah. The leader of the Green Party is a homosexual Jew.
You're a law, Mark.
But the leader of the Green Party is a homosexual Jew. What homosexual Jews want extreme Islam? Yeah. How many gay Jews are at the head of ISIS right now? I mean, we don't know. So ludicrous.
We don't know, but we need to find out.
To be honest,
the investigation.
To be honest, Polanski, I kind of thought, yeah, I get the feeling he's Jewish. I didn't know how gay though. I actually didn't know that.
Maybe he's the first.
It's not really something I'm that bothered about anyway.
He's breaking barriers, okay? He's the first gay Jew in ISIS. Smashing through the rainbow ceiling. Fuck y'all.
It's just how
Anyone can do
ridiculous.
anything.
But basically, to these guys, if you speak to someone that's Muslim, then you're for extreme Islam. That's basically what these people think, you know. Because Zach Polanski speaks to people that are Muslim, apparently he's extreme Islam.
I did hear a headline. Now you guys might be able to, whether it's true or not, but they're talking about open borders. That he's all for giving illegal immigrants free houses and free money and stuff like that. Now that'll confuse the reform supporters because they've been saying that for the last 30 years.
I've got some bad news to tell you, my friend. I've got some bad news to tell you about the open borders. I've got some really bad news to tell all those people about Britain having open borders. We're in Ireland. We're surrounded by water. So
yeah, exactly.
I have to remind people of the geography of that we're surrounded by water.
Well, what about Jesus? Maybe he'll walk across.
Because like the thing is, because like when I did read it, I think, well, what's wrong with that? What's wrong with saying positive things about immigration? Because let's be honest, without immigration, the country grinds to a halt anyway.
Yeah, well, that's what they do, Darren. See, Zach Polanski comes out with something and then they twist it. Same with the drugs. He talks about reforming drugs. Suddenly he wants to sell them to teenagers. He talks about immigration and suddenly he wants open borders. Just every single topic that he talks about, reform and Labour now, will just twist everything he says to just attack him. And, you know, that his immigration and channel crossing policies is so more nuanced than just open borders. He doesn't want open borders. But, I mean, while we're on the topic, it is actually one issue that I do have with the Greens, though, is that if you go on their website, look at their immigration policy, the headline, the big title on there is "We want a world of open borders." Now, that might be your opinion. That's something that, you know, a lot of people share, that would be a great utopian world for the whole world if we didn't have borders and stuff like that. But I just think straight away that puts a lot of people off. And I don't think that's a good way to title your immigration policy on your website. Because like I was saying, there could be lots of reform voters that get quite interested in green politics and think, oh, look what they're doing with wealth inequality and stuff like that. And then they go on their website, they see their immigration policy and say, we want a world of open borders. Now, their immigration policy isn't, if we get in charge, we'll open the borders. But they're saying kind of what their worldview is, you know, what they'd like.
Picture they're painting to them on this.
Yeah, I don't think it's a good way to go.
Because,
really.
like, to be honest, if I were a Tory or a Reform, or somebody from Reform, I would use it for my own advantage.
Yeah, and they will. Yeah, and that's what they do.
Yeah, she's
falling asleep.
I'm good. So, did you? So let's just move over to America. How was the glorious State of the Union, Mikey? Did we learn anything that we didn't already know about Donnie from it?
I learned something about Democrats. They're stupid. Do not show up so he can point and make fun of you and rage bait you and get you all upset and all that.
Yes.
Don't give him the satisfaction. You know, like my rep was there and I was like, you didn't have to be there. You should have came back to your district and thrown a party, and we're going to do anything except for pay attention to him. What do you guys need? You guys want to do a town hall? You guys want to play air hockey?
Yeah.
Like, do anything but give him the satisfaction.
With hands, didn't they?
Yeah. Look, they're not standing up for this. They're not standing up for that. Like, come on. First of all, I don't know what uppers they put in Grandpa's ass that day, but he was screaming for like the whole like middle section of it. I don't know if his mic was all jacked up or whatever, but he was just like literally Grandpa Simpson yelling at the clouds. Like, he has no policy ideas. He spent most of the time talking about the medals he was giving out. He gave everybody a medal in the whole goddamn crowd, I think. I think Chuck Schumer got 5 or 6 medals. Hakeem Jeffries got one. The floor.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say I don't think any of the I don't think any of the Republican or Democratic senators who voted against his tariffs got any medals. I'm just going to go out and live them there.
Oh, they got them too. Nancy Mace got some medals. You know
Oh,
who
did
didn't
they?
come up? You know who didn't come up? Jeffrey Epstein.
Oh, I wonder why.
Also, ICE. All the
Didn't-
things, but apparently there's gonna be 500, 600% cuts on medicines. Oh my goodness. I put the movie you asked for.
Go on.
She doesn't want to watch it now.
Go on, Mikey. It's fine.
Oh, she's singing. She's fine.
Oh, okay.
She's a little sad.
Voice of an
God.
angel.
I'll be right back. You guys go ahead.
No, it's fine. I've seen clips of clips here and now of the State of the Union, and it's so obviously for those who don't know, it was the Guinness World Record for the longest State of the Union ever, and it was also the most boring one ever. I think it's like 1 hour and 47 minutes. If someone wants to put the exact time in the chat, feel free to do so as well. But like I liked how he before the State of Union, when he had a press conference a few days ago before it, where he basically was saying he's like to the Senate to the senators who struck down the courts who struck down his tariffs, like he said like along the lines of what was it he said? What is it that Trump said to the senators coming to the State of the Union? Like he didn't say that they can't come, but he said something like, "I'll let them come" or something like that to it. And it's just like, well, you don't really have any control over it, Donnie.
It is by the invitation of Congress that he is allowed in that building. He is invited to give his State of the Union to Congress. He doesn't just get to do it. I mean, like, of course, Mike Johnson is over like, please, sir, please come step right on my face when you come. Like, of course, his supplicants are going to let him in there, but it's not his building. He's not in charge there.
No,
different branch of government.
Yeah, because I have to say, after the State of the Union, I did listen to a bit of an interesting conversation with Simon Marks and James O'Brien, where for his base, it got the desired effect, and for some people, because like I think I can't remember what when it comes to popularity, whatever, patriotism, whatever, patriot, I think it jumped from 50 something 64% or something like that, and with Ilhan Omar, I'm just thinking, I'm watching it, I'm thinking, you've fallen into the trap, because they'll clip pictures up of you looking unhinged and absolutely mental, and they'll use it against you.
Yeah,
I would have had the Epstein victims out there on the front steps again.
Yeah.
It pulled the attention away from him. It would have driven him absolutely insane.
Yeah.
We're gonna be reading the Epstein files page by page on the steps of Congress. But we don't have that leadership, right? You got Hakeem Jeffries and we will win. We will win. Chuckles the clown over here. Just supplicants. They're like devotees to a religion that no longer exists. Their democratic God is dead in the ground and rotting. And they're still just, if I just keep doing the old rules and wait till this email gets out. Like, brother, there are Nazis in the street. What are you talking about? What are you doing?
I thought the Democratic God was Israel, but okay. Considering how much money they take from the Israelis, that's what I thought.
For them to have universal health care and free college and and housing must be nice. Apparently, we can pay for it, but just not in this country. Oh, got it. Copy that. Roger that. But we got to send
missiles to Israel. We need to increase our budget to Israel first, Mikey. Because Israel.
Or are you anti-Semitic?
Do
you want to waste all of our Medicaid money on bombs, or do you? It's like such a false dichotomy. It's such like Israel has their own economy. right? They make shit. They sell shit. They could probably support themselves, huh? Nope. But that's our unsinkable aircraft carrier out in the Middle East, right? So, and also with the Epstein stuff, it's funny how Ehud Barak just doesn't get brought up anymore, huh? Just him on the phone with Epstein talking about Peter Thiel and Elon Musk infiltrating politics and all the Western English-speaking nations buying. I got the background for it.
You got it all there. Yeah,
it's all fucking connected, brother. It's quite obvious what's happening, and as you can tell here in the States, Elon Musk has largely disappeared from public spaces. As soon as they got a whiff, as soon as the regular people catch a whiff of that guy, they're like, is he on drugs? He's on drugs, right? Yeah, he's on drugs. And then that's the guy that hacked and got everybody's social security numbers. Put them on a private server. Joy. This shall not last because I don't think they have the competency to do it. And there's enough young people who not even wanting the lives that all of us grew up with, but just recognizing that this is cooked. Like there isn't going to be anything for us. That sentiment plus people our age finally waking up to politics. And I think there's a lot fewer, good, bad, or indifferent. There's a lot fewer people that are agnostic to politics now. It's kind of sunken through the membrane here.
That's what I really wanted to ask you, Mike, because American politics, I struggle enough trying to get a hold of this country's politics, like let alone America as well. But it seems like such a Goliath of you have the same problems that we have, but you have them on such a bigger scale. And we all know the shit show that's going on over in America at the moment. And I love America, and I've visited America so many times. I've got family in Florida. I've got I love Americans. Like when I visit to America, most Americans are polite. They're the nicest people I've ever met. And it pains me so much when I see what's going on over there. I really do, because it can be such a great country. And that, that's what I wanted to ask you, which I think you were about to answer, is do you see this ending? Do you see hope?
Mostly in the incompetence of our would-be dictators and our would-be overlords. They're not very good at what they do. Well, I'll say that they're not as good at hiding things as they think they are. I think it is hilarious that not only did Trump try to implicate the Clintons in the files with the Epstein shit, but then Elon tried to implicate Trump in the file. So they are their own undoing. Trump has never, ever, ever, ever run a successful business, ever. He can only fool these people with a couple of things, whether it's transphobia or racism or Islamophobia. Like
the Dow, though. The Dow's up.
Yeah, and that's the problem. Everybody's moving their stuff around. Let's take the farmers. Like farmers typically vote Republican, right? Rural areas typically vote Republican. And then when Joe Biden was in, I love farmers. I have a deep passion for the land. Joe Biden put out this program. He says, look, I understand things are bad right now. If you upgrade, make your farm a little bit more green, put some solar panels up, reduce some infrastructure, make yourself more compliant, the government will compensate you for that. Trump gets in, cancels the checks. So these guys have spent $500,000, $600,000 greening up the place just for the money to not show up. Then the tariffs come. Then we start sending money to Argentina. Then they double the money that they're sending to Argentina. Now we're getting beef from Argentina. So it's not only that, now I have something that I can use against the Republicans. Look how bad he's being to Republicans. That's where I like to get my food. Like as much as people want to make this red jerseys versus blue jerseys, we need each other. We're on the same team, whether or not you want us to be or not. We are all aboard the same ship, whether you like us on here or not. So whether you can either work together and succeed, or you can fight and starve. Those are the options. And it's starting to become obvious for more and more people that just going for the loudest racist in the room or the biggest transphobe with the most viral clips, that doesn't put the farmers in a position where we can have food and trade. And now they're pissing off our neighbors to the north and to the south and capturing Maduro. And he's just still in New York, I guess, just going to be there for a while. Like, this is not what they asked for. They said, I'm scared of trans people. I don't know what that is. I don't understand it. Don't do that to my kids, which is bigoted and wrong, and they need help. But they thought, oh, maybe I'll get some relief from these crushing prices. Biden bragged about an economy that just saw the top companies do better. And that looked great in the reports. And we were best recovery since COVID in the G7. Yeah, dude, but everybody's rent went up. and the food's getting more expensive. So like, what are you talking about? Like, how dare you tell us to not be grateful for this? Like, fuck you. You know what I mean? Like, I don't have to fucking just be broke because you want to brag about another company making, they made $50 trillion instead of 25 trillion. What a great economy we have. Like, dude, we didn't get any of that. We got nothing. We got to suffer through COVID. We got to be, what do they call it? Essential workers. We had to just suffer through all that stuff and just take it on the chin and just be good, patriotic Americans. And they spat in our faces for it. And now I have to fight with the people who are also being affected the most. If anybody has checked out the stream, it is a steady stream of people telling me that I don't know what I'm talking about and that I only care about insert random Fox News issue that they heard that morning. They don't even listen to what the show is anymore. We'll literally be talking about, like we talked about raw milk today. Well, what about this and this and this that the Democrats are doing? Like, they're brainwashed. RFK was pumping raw milk that people should drink raw milk, and yet another farm got closed because the cows are standing in their own shit, and then they're laying down in their own shit, and their udders are infected with their own shit, and that's going into the milk that's raw and unprocessed that you guys are demanding. But they want to still argue with me that my team is worse. They don't get it. And now and the FDA is removing inspectors, and now they're going to be getting rid of all these. The Clean Air Act is essentially gutted.
Yeah, I mean, I think the brainwashed are going to be the brainwashed.
Yeah,
go on, Reagan.
Sorry, Mark. Just before you come in, I just want to say, Viper Scott just wanted to ask you with a £5 super chat, Mikey. Did they shut down the 5 biggest meat plants last year because of the Argentinian meat? Viper Scott wanted to ask.
They were already struggling, and they were like, "Well, we had a screwworm infestation, nasty fucking flies, man, and the maggot grows and eats the skin of live animals and stuff like that. So it'll kill cows, and it really messed up the herds. So they were doing the best that they could. Not a lot of work to be done. Prices had to go up because there was a smaller herd. Oh, we'll just get it in from another country. You guys can keep all that stuff and let it rot. That's the Trump administration's solution to the beef problem. Get it from somewhere else. Screw the American beef cattle ranchers. Screw them. And this is how he thinks. He has no concept of how this country operates and how interconnected all of these different sectors are. He doesn't care. He's never had to care. And getting his sycophants to understand that this guy doesn't get how any of this works. He only knows the TV racism part. And if you keep neglecting all of the parts that are important and vital to keeping this machine running, we're going to have some major breakdowns here.
So you saying he's going to be pissing off Texas cattle ranchers? I mean, that's a big part of his voter page, surely.
He did. They are pissed. The Arkansas farmers were 600 deep in a meeting. They are pissed. It doesn't get reported. I try to, say it when I can. But
so you're saying that basically what you're saying, Mike, is he's going to end up blowing himself up, and
Yes.
you know the guys that are brainwashed, your Fox News crew, or the over here we got the Facebook mums and dads that are swallowing social media all day, and the brainwashed are always going to be the brainwashed, right? It's going to be hard to get through to them, but the folks that you're talking about now, the cattle ranchers, the whole country's interconnected. You can't just keep pissing everyone off. Everyone in their small little subgroup is starting to actually, come to terms with the fact
it's not just the upsetting them. It will ruin their lives.
Yeah.
Like your life is like 10 minutes from being completely tits up. Like you're about to be destitute. Hello, is anybody in there? Like we're Paul Revere in it.
So there's a theory. There's a theory in this country that because obviously our version of Trump is Nigel Farage and Reform that are Poland. So there's a theory in this country that we actually need to experience a Farage government to see how shit it is, to see how disastrous it is. And that's kind of almost what you're describing there. I mean, we always kind of say that we're sort of 10 years behind you in the UK, and you finally experienced what a Trump government you had it before, but this is the real deal where he's really unleashed, right? So the American public are actually finally realizing how disastrous it can be. And there's a theory in this country that maybe we actually need the same thing. I don't want it. I don't want to go down that road. There's a lot of people that see, we can't get rid of Nigel Farage until we experience him and actually see how disastrous he would be.
If Brexit wasn't a warning enough, you know what I mean? Like things work better when they're interconnected, and the country, just our country, is kind of like its own little mini continent. And all 50 states and interstate travel and all that stuff. I'm telling, like, these people think that they're going to be safe from the storm, brother. Oh, well, my 401k's doing, the dollar is plummeting, idiot. They're collapsing it on purpose, idiot. Because then you can't escape, idiot. Like, that's the point. They're breaking everything on purpose. All of his money's in crypto now and parked over in Qatar. He doesn't care. They're stealing everything. They're stealing the nails out of the floor. They're taking all of it. And to think that, oh, well, he's going to do this so that I can receive X. X is not coming. But the first part is he's going to do the first part. Yeah. So whether the Republicans or MAGA or independents or Green Party over here, whether or not they want to acknowledge the truth of the matter, the constitutional crisis has already begun. And whether or not they want to, help pull the emergency brake on the train or not, we're still pulling on the fucking brake, whether they're stupid enough to keep, encouraging the train to go faster or not. Like, they're wrong. And like, there aren't any alternatives other than to fight this. They'll get that soon, but yeah.
Mikey, I wanted to just ask how is there a possibility in these midterms that Texas could flip? Because I have seen some content on this. Is there a possibility of it? I mean, we're talking about a state that's always been considered red. Is there a possibility in these midterms that is that a possibility given the situation there?
So with the Senate race between, it's probably going to be Ken Paxton and either Tallarico or Crockett. It depends. Thanks, baby. My wife is home. So the child's not just screaming in a room by herself. She's fine. She's just upset. She has a witness now. So now the tears come. It's been so bad. But every county, every district along the border is turning blue. Texas is a majority minority state. The most black people in one state is in Texas, and it's got a heavy Hispanic population. And what I said earlier about this administration's incompetence, if he would have just ran ICE like Obama or Biden ran ICE, his polls would be through the roof and he'd be a juggernaut and he'd be doing it. But they're just little Nazi racists, and they have to just, get Greg Bavino out there in the SS jacket, and they got to just kick in the doors and do all the stuff and put up all the posters, and Krusty the Clown is flying around and sending people to CCOT. They can't help but overdo it. They're so
that is Trump, though, isn't it? That is what
so
Trump has
arrogant.
to put on a show, right?
They
You can't just have a policy that goes into effect and gets done and no one notices. Has to be a big show. It has to be massive. It has to be
WWF. It has to be pyrotechnics. It's like, if he just did what he wanted to do, it would probably go unnoticed.
But I thought like the core fundamentals of American politics, and especially Republican politics, is low government involvement, right? They just want okay, do the basics, just stay out of our lives. We don't really want to hear about you. Just control the things you need to control and let us live our lives.
Low taxes,
but it's like Trump is the complete opposite of that.
Yeah, it's supposed to be low taxes, low government interference, get rid of the regulations, and strong national defense. He's got people, he's arming new entities. He's spending hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars on this. Like, government spending should be at a bare minimum in a conservative administration. They don't want to spend any money. They said, we got bills to pay. We got debts. The national debt is a 1.5 trillion he added last year.
Wow.
So when I tell people that, and they say, well, that he had to, because I'm like, and how much of that 1.5 trillion went to you? None of it. But you did pay an additional $1,500 on average across the nation in elevated costs due to tariffs. So he's pumping money out of you. We don't know where the money is going, and you're mad at me for noticing. Like, there's only, and then you notice, like, these people keep showing up time after time. It's a cope. They're starting to understand now. I'm not going to get anything out of this. He's just taking everything. And the answer is yes, he's taking all of your shit. And he's not going to stop unless you stop him by voting. Voting, you psychos. Weirdos. But hey, Texas could flip. I got a lot of hope for a lot of there's a lot of progressives coming up through the ranks. A lot of Democrats are being challenged. I mean,
well, that's the thing, isn't it? You need it's all well and good Trump imploding, which might be the case, but is the Democrats ready to actually offer the people something different?
And we've seen a lot of, like, just seemingly normal people and average Joes just popping up. Catabugazela here in Illinois 9. You got Graham Plattner running up there. Like, there's a lot of people who aren't previous politicians running for these seats. A lot of times these seats are not even contested. It's just, this Republican's not running anymore, and his nephew's going to run, and nobody says anything, and they just let it happen. Well, they're not getting away with it anymore. There's a lady, I think it's North Carolina. She's running as a Republican. She's a progressive, but she's running in the Republican primary. There's no rules against it. Her policies are exactly the same, but she's planning on bleeding off supporters from the Republican base. Hey, if there's no fucking rules, there's no fucking rules. Win by any means necessary. Run as a goddamn turnip for all I care. But get him out of there. Just get him out of there.
Because the reason I ask is because obviously we've got experience with that in this country. When you have a disastrous government and someone comes along like Keir Starmer and he's just, we're different. We're not them. And then you end up with your next government, you might end up with a Keir Starmer that does bugger all as well.
Well, that was Joe Biden.
Yes, yeah, of course, yeah, because you're 10 years ahead. Yeah, I have to go back. You've already done it. You've already done it with Biden, of course.
And is it Gavin Newsom?
He said he was going to be a transitional president, and he's only going to run one term. So halfway through the term, everyone's like, "All right, who's next up? Who are you guys going to put up?" I'm not leaving after his disastrous debate, and it's like, oh shit, oh no, and the Democrats have no juice anymore. No one trusts them. No one likes them. If you're not running anti-democratic on the Democratic primary, you're not getting in. If you're not voting to abolish ICE, you're not getting in. And that's across the nation on the left anyway.
Fascinating.
So I guess the next question is when is America declaring war on Iran? Because I know they got their two aircraft carriers out there, haven't they? I think it's today they're supposed to be having. I think it's today. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm pretty sure today they're supposed to be having meetings with Iran and Ukraine right now. Or Ukraine's supposed to be having meetings with America right now. But like, I feel like
that hostage situation.
I feel really bad for Iran because in a way, but even though their government is
the Iranian
so
people
evil, yeah, the people I feel for more specifically, yeah, because like they're in such a terrible state, and you've got Israel like constantly begging and banging every single influence and whatever they can in America to say launch, attack, and it's just like I just feel like they just can't. They just can't get out of this situation here. Like
I feel like it's Obama hate. Obama got the nuclear peace deal, and they spun down their shit, and the inspectors were going in, everything was going fine. First thing he did, he like tear up that agreement. We're not making no deals with them, arming them and giving them all that money.
Yeah.
He has to dismantle everything Obama has ever touched or done. And Israel, or not Israel per se, but definitely Netanyahu, didn't like Obama.
Yeah.
He tried to do his normal, hey, you're the new president. Let me just put this on your shoulder. I'm in charge around here. And it just didn't work. So now's their chance to finally get back at Iran now that Obama fool is out of the way and stupid nuclear deal. Because I mean, even with all the assassinations Israel has carried out and the infiltrating the royal family, which apparently isn't hard. Like I've seen reporting that the bribes were as low as like $1,000 to like learn what the locations of people. Like Iran's not doing great already, but to besiege those peoples with the military might of the U.S. is completely unjustifiable and uncalled for. Like, dude. If you don't want them to have nukes, you said you blew it up already. And that was after Tulsi Gabbard said it didn't exist. So what do you want, man? Either they don't have it, they do have it, you blew it up.
And back up, and it's like, how can they build them back up in such a short space of time? Like
you told us that they were a year away and then an hour away, and then you blew it all up, and now they're a day away. Like, what are you talking about?
Like, you mean that plant they obliterated?
The most perfect bombs. There was no moon.
Yes, we obliterated it.
Okay, so you blew it up already. So what are you mad at? It's not blown up all the way. Well, then why did you say that before? Did something change? Did it grow back?
We didn't obliterate it enough.
I mean, what's going on, man? And Iran, like, even when like they sent all those missiles over, they called Jordan, they called the Americans, they told everybody where they were launching the missiles, and they all got shot down. No one hurt in Israel from their big rocket barrage that was going to wipe out the entire Eastern Mediterranean seaboard. Not a single freaking speck of metal hit their freaking country. It like hit out in the airfield somewhere. You know what I mean? Like, they have to saber rattle because they're an old crazy regime or whatever. I think they were trying to like comply, and it's, fuck you. You can't comply. We're not going to let you comply.
No, that's it. That's exactly it. Like it's like doesn't matter what Iran does. They don't, like, the Trump administration doesn't care. Like they can't, like, and it's kind of like, it's not like they could turn to anyone anyway, because Russia are kind of in a shithole right now anyway. Right. And most of their allies are kind of kaput. I mean, the Houthis have got their own civil war to deal with, dealing with their own civil war, never mind trying to send missiles into Israel as it is. I mean, they just, Iran's kind of.
They're having a water crisis. You know what I mean? Like, they're
the water crisis. That's so bad.
They're not this like super, I don't know why everyone listens to Israel when they fucking tell you that somebody has weapons of mass destruction.
Is it right what I've been hearing?
Dead, $4 trillion gone.
Is it right what I've been saying that for the last 30 years that Benjamin Netanyahu has been saying that Iran days away from building an atomic bomb for the last 30 years?
Since I was in high school and I first started like watching politics. Yeah.
It's probably got and yes, says the ones who've got atomic bombs in their probably in their own country, but it's not like we need to inspect Israel for anything,
And they lie about it all the time. Whenever they get asked if Israel has nuclear weapons, they say, "Why would you ask me something like that?" Okay, here we go. We know. We all know. It's fine. And no one else wants them. Just don't use yours.
Yeah. All right, so I got about 10 minutes left before we wrap things up, guys. So are we so in terms of the midterms, are we expecting a good so in the midterms in the US, are we expecting a good outlet for the Democrats pretty much? I know that I think a lot of I think because I think I've seen from CNN they did. Well, I've seen one clip from CNN like a lot of the independents are really gonna are really against Trump as well. So are we expecting like a so-called blue wave at the midterms?
Yeah.
If there's not election rigging of some sorts by Donald Trump or trying to stop it in some way, shape, or form, which could potentially still happen with this administration.
Messing with this election could be very risky for this administration. Like they better not. Like Tom Homan went out there saying, "I'm going to have ICE at all the polls. I'm going to have ICE agents." And then all you heard was collectively around rural America. They said, "Oh, you know what? Never mind. We don't want to do that. Just kidding. Just kidding. That was a joke, guys." They're not playing. People are not playing around right now. And like I said before, all those rural farmers and all that stuff, they're not joking. You've ruined their lives, right? Like you've taken their entire livelihood. Like you can't run a farm and then miss like 2-3 harvests in a row, right? These guys are in massive amounts of debt. They've done everything that this administration told them to do. They bought American. They bought the Trump watch and shoes and all that. Like these dudes are believing what you're saying, and you're leaving them in a position where now they are realizing they may not be able to get themselves out of. So they have a civil way of dealing with things, which is what I hope this is going to be. Right. And then after that,
I guess we'll see.
That's why Marjorie Taylor Greene got out of there. She was like, "You know what?"
Yeah, she saw the writing on the wall. He's in the Epstein files. "Peace out, y'all. I gotta go." And she just ran out of there. Yeah. Writings on the wall. Yeah. And we got our own election, not just obviously the by-election today, but we obviously got the Welsh elections, we got the Scottish ones, and we also got our own by-elections later. Literally only a few months' time, isn't it? In May, isn't it? Guys, correct me if I'm wrong. Darren, how do you feel it's gonna? Obviously, a lot of things can happen depending on the outcome of today's by-election. How do you feel right now things are shaping up with the run up to these elections? Do you feel like, because right now for me, I feel like Plaid Cymru, I've got a real good chance of securing quite a decent votes in Wales. I think the SNP have got so far from what I've seen, the SNP are going to really gain some seats and push back Scottish Labour there. And I'm not really too sure what's going to happen in England really right now. It's kind of hard to, in terms of the by-elections there. But what's no by-elections, not by-elections, the midterms, sorry, the mid-elections. But what's your feeling right now from what you've read and what you've seen? What's your gut feeling about what's going to happen here in the UK?
Well, I did read. I do tend to listen to a bit of Nick Abbott, and I did a bit of a video and it was quite interesting where, they're trying to paint out that that they said, I think some shocking poll that said that 1/3 of the population said that the Labour Party is far more sleazier than the Conservatives, and that was their headline. far more. And you think, well, what about the 2/3 who didn't say? So I just think it's going to be really, really interesting. See, I don't always buy into this. You must vote this way or you must vote that way, because I just think I survived the Thatcher years. so made a stir of stuff. So it's a case of what will be. But I do think, judging by where things are going, I think tonight's election could be a bit of a bellwether, you could say, see where it could really go. If it goes Greens, then that'll be very, very interesting. And because like when it comes to the local elections, if I remember rightly,
local elections, yeah.
Yeah.
So we got local elections in England, and then there's
because like when it comes to the Greens, when it comes to stuff like that, they do pretty well, don't they? When it comes to local elections, as well as independent ones as well. So, and also, I'm just wondering, with a bit of a surge from Restore Britain, that'll be interesting for Reform UK, won't it?
Yeah, for those don't know who Restore Britain is, that is Rupert Lowe. Mr. Rupert Lowe, firmly backed by the great Elon Musk. Yeah, so Mark, what's your gut feeling about these elections coming up? Not just obviously today, but,
well, just to add with Rupert Lowe as well, I mean, basically, best way to describe him, if Reform and Nigel Farage is not racist enough for you, then you got Rupert Lowe. But local elections. The thing that always frustrates me though about local council elections is they're always just used as a way for people to just basically let out their frustrations with the current government, and no one actually votes the way that you're supposed to. You're supposed to vote in local elections for your local council. Who's going to be running your local area? Who's best suited to sort out the mundane shit that we need doing, the bins collected? Who's going to be able to help out with potholes? No one's looking. You should look at your local councillors, because party politics doesn't come into it with local elections. Like my local Labour, I've spent most of this video slandering Labour, but my local Labour councillor, who's in charge of my local area, is fantastic. She's the most amazing councillor I've ever had. And I'll vote. We have it slightly different here in Brighton. We haven't got the local elections, but I'll vote for her regardless of party politics. But everyone just looks at it as a way to give the current government a kick up the arse. And the interesting thing about Brighton, which Caroline Lucas actually brought up on this show on Monday, is there's a lot of new mayors being introduced. So we're having a mayor of Sussex, and there's a possibility, because Sussex has very different areas to Brighton, that we could get a Reform mayor of Brighton. Now, for the sake of Mikey, I'm going to describe where I live. Brighton is basically San Francisco to you guys, right? It's a very, very big LGBT community. It's very liberal. We had a Green MP in Brighton here 15 years ago. We're ahead of the curve with sort of left-wing politics in our town. But because the boundaries have now widened, where we're having a new mayor elections, that encompasses Worthing, Chichester, Newhaven, areas that are a bit more Nigel Farage favourable. And there is a real possibility that there could be a mayor of Brighton that is Reform, which would just be absolutely nuts. It would be absolutely nuts if that happens. It really will be. And the Greens were talking about this, so they're going to be pushing hard on that one. But that's my general view on local elections. I just really wish that people would just take party politics out of it and just look at your local councillors. Who's going to help you in your local area? Who's going to be best suited, and vote for them.
We have they're called log cabin Republicans. Gay white men who are just like, low government, and also fuck everybody else. Like, you better respect my right to get married. Like, it's Scott Bessent. Scott Bessent is gay, and he sits up there on Trump's in Trump's cabinet like he's safe from the bigots.
Yeah. That's funny.
Yeah. Also, I also think, you know, when you see these videos, say, I'm not voting for this and that, but do they? When they really get into that booth, do they? Do they?
Oh yeah. There's loads of secret voters, definitely.
Yeah, the Monster Raving Looney Party. That's where they go.
Yeah.
What's your voter rate? Like, what participation rates do you guys generally see?
It's been getting lower and lower, hasn't it?
But local elections, oh yeah, that's the reason why all the nutters, if you don't, the nutters, they will go out and vote.
Yeah.
It's I think it did go down in the last election, but the one where we got the most was the Brexit vote, because that was the first vote in history where every single vote mattered. You know, so many, our voter count can be so low because so many people are just disenchanted because of the first past the post voting system. They don't feel like their vote matters, and it doesn't. You know, the same as you guys in America. You know this. If you're a Democrat in a high Republican area, your vote don't mean shit. So many people have been disenchanted with it. But Brexit was the interesting one, because that was the one literally to the vote. Every single vote mattered. And yeah, as we know, if we change the voting system in this country, more people will engage in politics because they'll feel that their vote actually matters.
Yep, indeed. Guys, we've as I said, I normally do about an hour and a half here, and we've hit the mark here. So I just want to say massive thank you, Mark, Mikey Famine, Daily Blasé. I really appreciate you guys coming on tonight or this afternoon for Mikey. I really appreciate you guys coming out. I hope no, generally mean this for those in the chat. I hope you guys found our discussion informative, maybe interesting, maybe even got a laugh or two, or maybe you're just sad, depressed of the world is.
Don't be sad. Do not be sad. Be angry.
Yeah, but we start with the important question about tea, Yorkshire tea.
You did. That is very, very important. So there you go. We did start about tea. So if you joined and you didn't know about the tea, you need to scroll back to the start and get that information in, because that's really, really important.
Basically, how do I like my tea? That's what you'll find out if you scroll back to the beginning of this video.
And
that's obviously the most intellectual bit of conversation that we've had out of this whole recording.
I was making fun of Tim the whole time. I was like, Tim likes to drink his tea with the tea bag still in it.
So do I.
Yeah, so does he.
Under my very nose. Et tu, Blasé.
Yes, different taste all the way down to the end.
And on that note, I just want to say, guys, make sure you check out Daily Blasé's Friday Frolics tomorrow on his live stream at 5 p.m. UK time as well. Mikey, are you going to be going live again today and tomorrow, just for people to know as well?
What time is it? So in 3.5 hours, we have Unboxed Politics, which is our political review show. So we grab clips from all different stripes. And now that you guys told me about these, what were you guys saying, where these people would have like these crazy campaign videos? That is directly up our alley. So maybe I will bother you guys for some of those links or something like that, because that's what we do. And then we give them a rating. And then at the end of the year, we have the playoffs to see who's the best and the worst.
Oh, that sounds good. So yeah, for us here in Europe, if you're planning to stay up late tonight, you can do it with the BIM. You can do it late night with the BIM podcast. Yeah, can't go wrong with that.
Brown chicken, brown cow.
And guys, and do check out youtube.com/Vanman Talks. Our good friend Mark here as well. Link for his YouTube channel is in the description as well. If you're not a subscriber to him, do give him a subscribe as well. There's also been a lot of other great YouTubers I've seen lurking in the chats. Don't think I didn't spot them. I did see Max Robespierre in there. I did see I saw Jao is also a YouTuber as well. I saw Witchy Goth lurking in the chat there. I'm pretty sure I saw someone else, one or two other YouTubers. I can't remember who were lurking in the chat. So there were a couple of other YouTubers lurking in the chats there as well. They know who they are there. So do check out some of them as well. As for myself, I'll be live again tomorrow at 11 a.m. for another good morning show here in the UK. So if you guys want to check that out as well, feel free to do so. But again, guys, thank you all for coming along. Enjoy the rest of your evening or day, whatever you guys are doing. And I will be back with another roundtable next month as well. I've already got one guest lined up. I just need to find 2 more guests. I'm looking down at Daily Blasé. I'm looking down at Daily Blasé again.
Whenever you need me, my friend, it's not a problem. We'll work my way around it anyway.
I nominate Tim as champion.
Tim, get Tim to reach out to me, or I'll reach out to him if he wants to come on. In all seriousness, yeah, well,
His turn.
Yeah. So yes, guys, I'm just reading everyone saying hello, goodbye, and all that kind of stuff. Yes, I don't have an outro. I know Mikey's going to tell me off after this, so I'm just going to literally click the end button. He's already given me that look.
Even I have an outro now.
Damn.
Yeah, that's how
Blasé.
Yeah, I just got blasé. That's how terrible I am, guys. So yeah, I'm just going to press the button and say goodbye, everyone.